Welcome to the guided prayer recollection from Mark 1:40 through 45. A man with leprosy came and knelt in front of Jesus, begging to be healed. "If you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean," he said. Moved with compassion, Jesus reached out and touched him. "I am willing," he said, "be healed." Instantly, the leprosy disappeared and the man was healed. Then Jesus sent him on his way with a stern warning. Don't tell anyone about this. Instead, go to the priest and let him examine you. Take along the offering required in the law of Moses for those who have been healed of leprosy. This will be a public testimony that you've been cleansed. But the man went and spread the word, proclaiming to everyone what had happened. As a result, large crowds soon surrounded Jesus, and he couldn't publicly enter a town anywhere. He had to stay out in secluded places, but people from everywhere kept coming to him. For the remainder of this meditation, I will be focusing on from Mark 1, I will be focusing on verse 41. And I will be giving a series of meditative prompting questions. And I will pause briefly after each prompt or question for you to have time for reflection and journaling and prayer. At that point, you can pause your own playback and take as long as you'd like with each prompt. And then when you're ready to move on, you can start the recording again and continue with that rhythm of pausing for as long as you would like to meditate on each piece. So we are going to start with that. Moved with compassion, Jesus reached out and touched him. "I'm willing," he said. "Be healed." Jesus, I see that you felt compassion, not fear or disgust. Look how you touched the untouchable. How it must have melted this man's heart and filled him. You did not need to touch him to heal him. You chose to. Praise you, Jesus. Jesus, you can touch the untouchable place in me, the place that I defend, ignore, excuse, or am embarrassed of. And at this time, I invite who's listening to this to take time to think of the places where you want Jesus to touch you. Name them to yourself. Jesus, I see that you made yourself unclean so that this man could become clean. You sacrificed yourself for him. This man probably doubted his self-worth. Why would anyone risk getting near him? He had no reason to believe that you would be willing. But here, you generously say, "I am willing." You were willing, and you sealed this, validated it by touching him, showing you your true and complete willingness. Be healed. What music to his ears. And the Bible says that you will heal us too. Lord, I adore that you touched the man who longed to be touched. Praise you. And you have and will continue to touch me too. I sit with that in gratitude and hopeful anticipation. And you healed me from my worst condition, my eternal separation from you. I was completely helpless, and you healed me. Praise you, Jesus. I'm so sorry that I take this for granted, Lord. I open my heart in gratitude to receive your healing. and to be thankful. Jesus, I pray for each of us meditating that as we come closer to you and your word each day, that we will allow you to heal us more and more. And now, Lord, I shift my attention and I turn my mind to think about what happens in my life when I forget about how you've healed me and the price that you paid for that. I invite those who are listening to take a moment and think about what happens in your life when you forget this. What are the specific behaviors and attitudes and beliefs that surface? By contrast, we now think about and imagine life when we remember that you have healed us and what you paid for that healing. And Lord, as I contrast those two realities, I reach out for what you have for me, and I let my heart experience that longing. I realize that my significance does not come from my efforts, but from your healing love for me. Praise you, Jesus.